Okay, I know, I just got it. Okay, and we're also on YouTube. Ooh, I just turned my phone off.
Hi there, this is Roger Bumpus, the actor, not the real person. I'm the voice of Squidward Tentacles on SpongeBob SquarePants, and I'm saying you're listening to DJ Danny. Of course, I am too, but then I'm on DJ Danny, so I'm actually contributing to what you're listening to. So have a great day. Oh, I think I hurt myself.
Good evening, everyone. Today is Tuesday, May 29, 2018. Welcome to the DJ Danny Show on HamiltonRadio.net, stream HR2. I'm your host, DJ Danny, and I'm actually joined on Skype with the wonderful and hilarious Brian WOHL. So thank you so much for being here.
Hey, thanks for having me.
I was actually going to say, earlier when we were talking, and like if you were wondering how I found you, is I found you through a BuzzFeed video.
Yeah, which one?
I knew you were going to ask that. I didn't do my research that well. But right from that, I followed you, I added you from Facebook. I didn't want to be like a creeper or anything. But I shared the video, and I was like, this guy is so funny. And then I added you, and then I saw that you were like in a whole bunch of like plays, and you're like a comedian. Then you contacted me back, and I was like it's legit. Like, you're funny, and you know, you were on BuzzFeed, and you have a lot going on for yourself.
I try. It's mostly just to hang around and survive. It's hard to get your own material out there, and as someone who writes for himself, I gotta be on multiple platforms.
Well, the thing about, I feel like BuzzFeed is, it just feels so real, and everybody in like the cast of what the videos are, they're just all likable. You know what I mean? Like, you guys seem like you can all be amazing friends. Like, I want to join your clique immediately.
They really are that likable. They are that fun. Everybody's friends. Everybody hangs out. It really is like that. It's cool, but also, yes, it's work too. So everybody has to be very professional, get their work done.
Yeah.
But we're also allowed to have quite a bit of fun too.
I was gonna say, like, there's play fun, right? And like, you can hang out, like, whatever.
Oh yeah, but also, like, you gotta keep that energy up, because like, I don't know if you saw when I went to Vegas 2 years ago with Keith, Stephen Lim, and Shane Madej. Now, Stephen does that show Worth It. Shane does the Haunted show, whose name escapes me right now, and he's going to kill me for not knowing it. And Keith's a member of the Try Guys. So BuzzFeed allowed us to go to Vegas, and we had, free trip to Vegas, bless you.
Thank you.
But we had to make 5 videos within 2 days.
Oh.
And so, yeah, like, we had a lot of fun partying and whatever, but to crank out that much material in that short of amount of time,
Yeah.
we had to make sure that we were working constantly, but still having fun. So yeah, we did, like, I'd say the most party of those videos was when we had Twitter decide Keith's night in Vegas. And Twitter, using the poll function, would vote, where we should go, what we should do, should we bet on red or black, things like that. And although we were partying and having a good time, we were constantly on the job. So we could never get, crazy drunk. We couldn't party with the ladies. I was single at the time, so you can't do that. There's no...
Yeah.
Just gotta
So it
get
wasn't
back.
as fun as you guys thought, but it was still fun.
Yeah.
You had fun.
Yeah, the fun, I mean, we still have a great time. We love working. We're creepy people like that. All of us we're the weird kids.
You guys are weird.
We were super weird in school. All of us were, but that's part of what's great about BuzzFeed is everybody has embraced the things that make them weird, and now that we're adults, that's what makes us cool.
And it makes us feel like we relate to you completely about whatever the situation is, or the BuzzFeed video.
Yeah, and we really are friends. Like, this year, I'm half Jewish, and so I always my family always does Passover. I was always big into Passover. So I do a Passover every year. And this year the Passover is Keith, who I do Passover with every year. But Shane was there, Sarah was there. We're all, we all hang out. It's our little family of friends.
Now, I wanted to start, though, a little bit from the beginning for that, just so we get, like, back into the BuzzFeed. But first, what got you into acting? Because, I mean, like, growing up, did you want to be an actor? Was this something that was, like, on the side of what you were looking for or went to school for?
My parents, I grew up in Illinois, and comedy's a big deal in Illinois. Second City is located there, and it's kind of like the mecca of American improvisational and sketch comedy.
Yeah.
And so people from all over moved to there, and so people who grew up in Illinois, I feel like, prioritize that and lift it up as like something that's really important. So for me to get attention as a child, being funny was a great way to do that, and that encouraged me into like middle school. And there was a girl that I had a crush on, and she was going to drama club. And I totally just was like, oh well, she's going there. That's probably the place I need to be.
Follow your heart.
Yeah. So I went to drama club, and there were so many other pretty girls that weren't just her, and there were like a bunch of them, and it was a great place for me to be, and I just never left.
So you enjoyed yourself?
It's so fun. Yeah, I could be silly, and people would enjoy seeing me. Whereas, like in real life, I'm 5'11", 150 pounds, it's soaking wet. So I really couldn't play any sports or do anything physical because I'm a tiny man, Not that tiny, but tiny enough, like not big.
Tiny. Yeah. You're taller than I am. I'm 5'4", so.
Yeah, so like I'm actor handsome, but in real life I'm small.
Okay. So you're bigger in like on the screen because the camera adds like a couple of pounds.
Yes, it helps.
Okay. So, do you remember what show? Did you audition for a show when you were at drama club, or you were just there for the girls?
Oh yeah, my first play was Cheaper by the Dozen. They made a movie out of it with Steve Martin way later.
Yeah, I know the movie. I didn't know there was a play.
Yeah, there was a play back because that family, oh gosh, I forget their name now, but they were a real family, and they had a play in like the 30s or 40s.
Yeah. And
it's a great play for kids because there's a lot of female parts and male part balance. If you're a drama teacher, like it's not an exciting show, but it's a show where everyone has a couple of lines.
Something where you get a part, or you're like in the show, so you can put it on your resume as like credit.
Yeah. Yeah. And I was cast as the obnoxious male cheerleader boyfriend of one of the older sisters of the family.
Okay.
And so I could just be this obnoxious guy and be silly. And I got so many laughs that I was just hooked. I was like, I want to do this. This is so fun. And I studied improv in college and made the group Octavarius with my best friends, and that was what got me started doing this professionally.
So why don't you talk a little bit about Octavarius? Just so people have an idea of what it is.
Yeah.
Because I thought it was something about octopus.
Yeah, Octavarius was made out of my best friends in college. Okay. We had an improv group called the Improv Mafia, which still exists. And there's kids that go in through there every year, and we were at Illinois State University in a town called Normal, Illinois, and it was the real name of the town. Benfolds, wait, Normal? That's about driving to that town.
Okay.
It's a really normal town. But we didn't have a comedy teacher or anybody there that could really teach us about that stuff, so we taught ourselves out of books. We would pair a senior student with a more junior student, like a freshman or a sophomore, and they would pick a chapter of one of the books, like Truth in Comedy, Improvise, Guru, to teach us how to be funny.
Nice.
And
okay.
Yeah, we learned. We performed every week, and then also late night Saturday nights, I would host kind of like an open mic type show called Theater of Ted, and it was all uncensored, weird theater stuff from stand-up to performance art. There's nudity. There's all sorts of weird stuff.
Okay.
And a way for us as kids to, college students, to learn what worked, what didn't work, to test our boundaries.
Okay.
I was very scared of being, naked in front of people. That was scary. Now I'm less scared, but, not that thrilled to do it. But, in the name of what's funny, if it's got to be, it's got to be.
It does, but you don't have to go like that 100% mile if you don't want to. But now you know, since you already went over it. Was it something where you were like, I'm doing this again?
Totally. I did it so many times. It was college. It was worth it. I'd do it again. I highly encourage, while you're in college, test the boundaries of that safe space. Because as an adult, you can't just go walking around naked in front of people that get very upset.
Exactly.
In college, there's a period of time where it's still cute, and you're okay.
Would that be at the parties after the drinking?
Well, not at the party. Well, I mean, sure, maybe. I don't know.
Like in the guys' dorms or whatever?
Yeah, in this show, Theater of Ted, it was a safe space, so I would recommend that. Maybe not, exposing yourself to people willy-nilly in college. I can't quite recommend that. But it's a safer space than the rest of society, probably.
Yeah. Well, there's closed doors, right?
Yeah.
So then you're safe.
Through the experimentation of Theater of Ted and the Improv Mafia, we were able to come up with Octavarius, which was our improv group in Chicago. Keith Habersberger, the Try Guys, was in there. Mark Musinski, who works on Abby's for NBC, was in there. Matt Castelvi, who does stand-up out in Boston, was in that group. And then Matt Tins Herzog also was in the group, and he's written a lot of great shows in Chicago. There's a lot of great folks that are in that group, and we were the best improv and sketch group in the city of Chicago for 2 years running, and people, they really liked us. And then we got to tour the country, doing shows in colleges, and then after that, we made a web series called I Made America. And Keith made a comedy album with his band at the time.
Oh my God.
And through those things, we got noticed nationwide and eventually made our way out to Hollywood, where I am sitting right now.
I was going to say, are you in LA?
I am literally in Hollywood. I live at Sunset and Vine, basically.
Okay.
Everyone watching
out. I was
there
there last year, but it was just on the Sunset, or the Sun Tour or whatever. The red bus. The Starland bus.
That's like a block away from my apartment.
I just mean they drop you off sometimes and you can like walk around and stuff like that, but you can't really like see houses. Only house I saw was the one for Hocus Pocus. They weren't allowed to take us there, but we went there.
Oh man, they've got some cool ones out here. Because a lot of the carpenters in LA, like whenever they're unemployed, what do? They go and build houses instead. Yeah. And so there's some really rad houses out here.
Yeah, and they're expensive. Oh my gosh, they were telling us the prices, and we were going up higher on the hill. I was like,
Yeah, I'm not allowed any of them. I live in an apartment, like a real comedian.
Okay, but it's still not that bad because you're in Hollywood.
It's great. It's great. I walk outside, and I'm like a block and a half away from the ArcLight Dome, which is the coolest movie theater in the world. It was designed by Walt Disney and his Imagineers to have an acoustically perfect room. So you go in this movie theater, and everything is the best sound that you've ever heard. It's just amazing.
That's amazing. That sounds
good. Yeah, seeing a movie, it's weird, because you go to LA and you want to do outdoor things, but seeing a movie in Los Angeles is one of the best things you can do. It's the best place to see a movie in the world.
I'm trying to think. We didn't do that. Well, we went to Disneyland for 7 days, and we had...
Totally makes sense, and like I get it. But if you see a movie in LA, especially one that's like a little bit more out there, we have a lot of like late night movie clubs where people will see. Like I saw a first printing on 35mm of Texas Chainsaw Massacre.
Okay, before it came out.
Yeah, the original horror film. I'm not like a huge horror dude, but seeing this film in its original 35 millimeter, beautiful clean print in a theater full of not only horror fans, but horror fans that are so into horror that they move to Hollywood to go and work in film. Like, these are the diehards, and it's hard not to get excited about film. Like, I right behind me, let's see, I have a poster of Charlie Chaplin's City Lights.
Okay.
And there's a late night movie club that just screened all Charlie Chaplin's films, and I could just nerd out with all these people that are in that type of stuff with me. It's great.
My one friend actually, he's a horror fan. His name is Daniel Montgomery. I don't know if you know or heard of him. His brother is known to be on Disney Channel with like Demi Lovato when they did So Random and Sunny with a Chance and stuff. But cool. They do a horror, like a horror Halloween thing where it's a walkthrough, and they do it. I think it's on Santa Monica Boulevard. Keeps inviting me to go down there, but I'm like, I can't. I'm in Jersey. But it's really amazing. So if you like that, I would recommend you going there probably this year.
Yeah.
Or I can give him your information, and you guys can like meet up or something. He's a comedian too.
Oh, cool. I like those types of people.
Of course. I love actually getting all different types of people, especially depending on like acting, what you're working with, and then comedian, because you all have different sides of you. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. Like, it's not like ego-wise or anything. It's just you're free. You're free to fly, whatever you want to say. You're not no holds barred.
Yeah, I like it. And also, I think the improv stuff shaped how I am a lot, because improv is about listening, working together. It makes people, I think it makes people a little bit nicer. Whereas if you're doing straight stand-up and only doing that, it's a lonely life. It's tough.
It can be, yeah.
Yeah, I've been doing the stand-up a bit more this year, and doing it just by myself without any of the guys, and going to those open mics late at night, waiting, and you're the second to last person to go up, and it's 1 a.m. and there's like 4 people left, and you're just trying to get your material out and record it with your little iPhone so that you can hear if anybody laughed at your weird thought. Oh man, it's a lonely life. So I can see why stand-ups might not be as easy to get along with their chat.
Try me. Say some material. Let's see. Let's get some laughs.
Oh man, out of context like that is so wild. Yeah, I mostly just talk about what I've been going through my experience, because I feel like people don't want to hear anything that's not genuine.
Okay, that makes sense.
And so that's a concern. And so and also, like, what do you want to hear from a straight white male right now? Because really, like, we're not that popular in the moment. And so, yeah, it's a weird time for all of that, because it's been pretty easy street the entire existence of straight white male, and now just people don't want to hear from us very much. And so it's been weird to figure out how to be funny and what is funny still. Like I watched CNN, and they have a special on about mass shooters, and I realized all of them look like me.
Oh,
That's like, like, oh my god, what do I, and where, yeah, and you're like, oh, I wish I could go back to a time where people would confuse me for more positive public figures, but that's what's up right now.
Yeah,
and so I talk about this in my stand. Yeah, I wish that people were like, oh, he kind of looks like a mix of Michael Cera, Dana Carvey, and Christian Bale if they had a foursome with German Prime Minister Angela Merkel. But that's not what it is right now.
So that could be very hard, though. Is that what you feel like? Besides that being your material, do you feel like that, though, in Hollywood right now? Or do you still get a lot of jokes and laughter?
Yeah, I mean, because also people want to hear a different voice. And so what might have been cute and fun, 5-6 years ago, it's not really the way that is right now. And so the question is how do you deal with this? And like, maybe I'm the bad guy now. Whereas, like, I used to be considered the underdog. Not anymore.
Or more, is it like, do you get hecklers where they're like, they say something mean? How do you handle that?
You know, stand-up I have. Generally, people like me.
Well, that's good.
But doing improv, Octavius totally got hecklers. Because, and also I did like 500 shows of that, whereas in stand-up I'm probably less than 100. So, so with Octavius, I have a lot more heckler stories. And yeah, we totally had hecklers. It would mostly be people that were, you know, overserved, people that drink too much. And, you know, it's pretty easy to deal with someone that's drank too much in that way, because I'm on a stage, I'm lit up. People already paid to see me and not them. And then also I have the microphone, so I have the power. They have nothing. So it's up to me to kind of take them and do whatever I want with them at that point. It's a terrible idea to try to heckle or participate in a comedy show if you're not invited. It's not going to go well.
It's true. But I heckled at Chris Angel's in LA, in Vegas.
What? You heckled somebody?
I heckled Chris Angel.
How'd that go for you?
Good. I said I love you, and he said I love you back.
Oh, so it was like a positive heckle.
Yeah.
I see.
I
Yeah.
was so happy. I got like the whole stage was like jealous, and I was like, oh my god. So that was my moment.
Positive heckles are one thing. Negative heckles are a whole nother deal.
Yeah, I've heard negative ones depending on which comedian. I actually used to go see Bo Burnham with my sister, and there was a lot of negative ones on top of him.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, man, I'm surprised they bother him so much. He's so sweet.
He is, and he's a musician, so he sings, you know, his comedy. And
Yeah.
I mean, I feel like some of the hecklers, like, well, he doesn't like when people sing along with him unless he tells you, because he gets messed up with his material.
Yes.
Because you have it all, like, planned out, and that's, like, hard to think of and stuff. So people would just, they would be saying negative stuff, like, take it off, and, you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
mostly.
Yeah. You do have to tell the audience to shut up, and that happened while I was doing college touring. Sometimes you just gotta put them in their place, and it's rough because my persona is a little bit more of a nice guy thing, so I don't like to have to be that way.
So you
but
feel
also,
really bad when you have to do that.
Yeah, and then it takes away the fun, because then you're like, oh wow, this guy could totally take me apart if he wanted to.
Yeah.
Like, I don't want you to feel like I could take you apart. I want you to feel like I'm your friend.
Why don't you make one of their heckles, if it's negative, turn it to positive? Does that make any sense?
That can totally happen, but you know, usually I just tell them to shut up.
That's the best way, though.
Just shut up.
Just shut up.
Shut up.
So going back a little bit into your acting, so from where you were doing, you know, the stuff Octavirus, with your friends and stuff, how did you get into BuzzFeed?
Basically through Keith. Keith applied through their website.
Okay.
At that time, and still basically the best way to ever get a job at BuzzFeed is to apply through the website, and that's the only way they hire people.
Really?
Everybody has to apply
they
through
hire on their website. I didn't even know that was a thing.
Yeah, they have a website. You apply for it. They'll look at your LinkedIn. It is the most non-cool way to get a job. That is straight up how it goes. And yeah, but through Keith starting there as an intern, we started working over there and doing videos for them. And then Keith was like, "Oh, hey, yeah, check out my friend Brian. This is Mark." And then as you become friends with other artists and other creators, you find people that you bond with. Like I bonded with guys like Zach Kornfeld of the Try Guys, Chris Reinecker, who has a channel of his own now. Chris is amazing. If you haven't watched Chris's stuff, it's amazing what he's doing with YouTube.
Familiar. I'm wondering if I might have, like, he might have came across my dash or something.
So worth it. Chris's stuff is super cool, very innovative. And then working with other artists like Becky Harris and Yeska Hernandez Cruz, Jenny Lorenzo, so many other great artists through Quinta Brunson. Quinta is amazing. She's going to be on a show on CW this fall.
That's awesome.
And,
which show?
yeah.
Or is it still in pre-making?
It's a drama. I just remember I'm like, oh, Quinta's doing something that's serious? Cool.
No, but it's nice that you have like all these friends. I mean, it went from Keith, and then you have like a whole group of friends that like, you know, got your back, ready to hang out. Probably also support you in your comedy.
Oh yeah, and I think that's the most important thing to do as an artist and just as a human being is create a family of friends that you can count on as your go-tos that will support you in whatever you're going towards, and then also find ways that you can support them. And thankfully, through BuzzFeed, through the comedy community, everyone's been very supportive of one another because, you know, if one of us succeeds, it helps all of us, and you know, I'm all for it.
It does, but besides that, for just being BuzzFeed, because I only know it more as like there's always videos, but there's like real more technical stuff, right? Like you said, you would have to do interning, so interning like editing videos. Like how does that work?
Every person at BuzzFeed has to be able to do just about everything. You have to be able to edit, you have to be able to record sound, you have to be able to operate a camera, you have to be able to write, you have to be able to perform. You just have to do everything. Now that the company's gotten bigger, there are, you know, some dedicated editors and some things like that.
Yeah.
But the idea is that you have to be able to do everything. And so that's what all those cats are able to do. I specialize more in writing, performing, content creation like that. So that was mostly what I would do, and they would just bring me in whenever somebody liked me. You know, like I got to do this great video with Keith for Jared Sosa, who created a video on Mormon missionary problems because his experience growing up Mormon was a certain way, and he wanted to reflect that.
Yeah.
And one thing I loved about working at BuzzFeed was how they would represent certain groups and create content for groups that really don't have content.
That's very true. Yeah.
You know, and continue to do that, and I'm all for it. I think that's really awesome.
Yeah, but I feel like a lot, though, like I was saying with BuzzFeed, as like it became bigger and bigger, it makes all of us feel so relatable to it. Like, I'll be sharing BuzzFeed videos, like, constantly versus, like, just having them pop up on my dash once or twice.
Oh, yeah, and everybody's kind of made themselves available to everyone else through social media, so they are kind of like our friends. And, I mean, for me, they're literally my friends.
Yeah.
But, yeah, it's definitely something else.
Exactly how long did it take for you guys to do some filmings, though, until it was, like, exactly perfect? Just about everything at BuzzFeed is done within a day. Okay.
Shoot is generally like 1 day, if that. So nothing really takes very long there because it's expected that you just crank out content.
Should be quick. Yeah, I figured that because I feel like I see a BuzzFeed video every like 2, 3, 4 hours, something like that.
Yeah, but that's what's exciting now that we're doing things outside of BuzzFeed is we are getting more time to make things, and that's cool. But yeah, whenever anybody, you know, time is money, and so if somebody has more money, then we get more time.
That's how you have to look at it, though, right? As an actor and a.
Oh yeah, and so since we're young, we don't really get a whole lot of money and time to make things. So generally, we got to turn around things pretty quickly.
Yeah.
Like. When Keith and I were in WTF, the World Thumb Wrestling Federation movie, we filmed our entire part of the film in 1 day.
I gotta watch it, but I seen the trailer for you guys. You guys are like I was gonna say umpires. You're like the people that are in the back, like.
We were the commentators. We were the play-by-play and color commentators. So we're in the entire film, but we filmed our whole part in 1 day. Keith and I, we were very lucky in that the filmmakers allowed us to come in for the last day or two of shooting.
Yeah.
And they had an editor kind of roughly cut together the thumb wrestling matches. And Keith and I watched the matches the night before, and we kind of riffed, writing jokes back and forth, what we thought we could say about it.
Okay.
And then we ran it another time, writing through more material, kind of figuring out the flow of things, and then we ran it once more, kind of trying it out together. So we had 3 runs of the movie together the night before. Then we went home that night, memorized our lines that we wrote down, and then we knocked it all out in about 4 hours the next day.
Well, no, that's seriously amazing. Like, that takes so much work. You guys, like, together must be like brother duo or something.
Well, we've done, Keith and I have done over 400 shows together, maybe 500, I think. Yes. And so to be able to work together with somebody like that is amazing. And also it helps that he's one of the funniest people on the planet. People are only, they've only seen just a little bit of what he can do through BuzzFeed. Yes. Now that him and Try Guys have left BuzzFeed, you're going to see so many amazing things from them too.
That's awesome. Keep me updated though. I was going to say, since you're on my show and stuff, anyway, I can help. If you need to tag me in post or use my wall, I'm 100%, you're okay with it.
Oh man!
I'll
let you know. Yeah, we have some things coming up, but yeah, it's as the boys transition away from BuzzFeed, things are changing. So
definitely, and I also want to let you know we actually have a caller. I'm sorry, we actually have somebody that's tuning in right now. His name is DJ Friction. He's from iHeartRadio, because my show got picked up from iHeart 2016. So you're on iHeartRadio as well right now.
Oh, amazing. Congratulations, by the way, on 2016.
He's tuning in for you. Well, he's tuning in for you, though. So shout out to DJ Friction for you.
Oh, shout out. Thank you, DJ.
So I'm making you blush. No, but that's amazing. And if you want to give a little bit of information of what exactly was, or first of all, why a thumb wrestling movie? I mean, it's so epic and awesome. I love the idea. But, like, where did it come from?
The guys that wrote the movie wanted to do something similar to Best in Show. They love that film, and had just enough money to make a feature film in a certain amount of time. And they figured out that they could do this if they made a movie about some sort of tournament or sport where they wanted to introduce characters.
Yeah.
And they watched a Second City sketch that Keith and I did together called Girl Birthday. And it was a sketch that I wrote with Keith about a 23-year-old girl's birthday if it were commentated on by professional wrestling commentators.
Oh, gosh.
He played JR Jim Ross, and I played Jesse the Body Ventura. And we commented on this girl's birthday. And these writers were in the audience, and they saw that sketch, and they figured out what this movie needed to be and how they could make it work and smooth over, any moments in the filming of this movie. And they wrote a part for Keith and myself, and they brought us in. And, I think they thought thumb wrestling was fun. Nobody had really done a thumb wrestling movie.
No, they didn't. That's why it's so epic and awesome. But I'm just like, first of all, who came up with that idea? Because, I mean, for you guys just looking at the script, like when you're called in to read, you looking at it, did it say, like, what it was? And you just was like, were you, like, confused? Or were you, like, excited? Were you, like...
I was excited that anyone wrote a part with me in mind. I was like, oh, wow, cool.
Okay, well, that's sweet.
I was like, oh, cool.
But
and then I saw WTF, the World Thumb Wrestling Federation. I was like, okay, I get the joke.
I know, that took me a while, too, when I was first learning. I was like, first of all, WTF, and I'm trying to post about, the show earlier on Snapchat, and I was like, oh, no, I don't think I'm saying this right at all. I said it all backwards, and I was like, well, you guys just tune in. Like, I'm done and over with. But, anyways, for that.
Yeah, we were excited to get that script, and then once we saw what it was and then how the movie was going to be made and who was going to be involved in it, we thought, oh, this is exciting. We were very fortunate to be able to do scenes with Deborah Wilson from Mad TV and Avatar. Yes. Deborah's amazing, such an amazing improviser and amazing actress. So to be able to work with her was awesome. And then Sam Levine from Freaks and Geeks, John Hennigan who wrestles as Johnny Mundo, and John Morrison under WWE and Lucha Underground.
Wait, who's under John Morrison?
His name is John Hennigan, is his real name.
Okay.
But yeah, he wrestled under the name John Morrison for WWE. He was like Intercontinental Champion, multi-tag time, tag team.
No, I know him. I know of him, not know him personally, but yeah.
Oh, yeah, he's so great. Great wrestler, great friend, super guy. I think he's getting married this weekend. So congrats, John.
Oh my God, congratulations.
Yeah. And so to be able to work with him, to be able to work with all the other actors that we got to play with. And a lot of our friends were friends that we made at Illinois State University, which is really amazing. The writer and producer and director of the film, Rico Natale, is from Illinois State University. And that was how he came to our shows. He was like, oh, I remember these guys. They were funny in college. I'm making a movie. Maybe they'll fit. You know? So if you think that college is worthless, maybe the education part doesn't matter that much, and maybe it's more about meeting people and
the fun, right? Definitely the fun, and the nudity is like the best. No, I'm just totally kidding.
I gotta tell you, I learned a heck of a lot outside of the classroom in college. Inside the classroom, I learned plenty, but
did it stick with you?
Outside the classroom, I learned so much.
But inside the classroom, did any of that information stick with you? It was more outside the conversation.
Some of it did, but part of why I went to that school was of how much power you had as a student outside the classroom.
That's
like,
okay. Yeah.
What they allowed us to do was you could sign out any room on campus. Like, you just had the power to do that and just put on a show, and like no one could stop you. So like you could put up flyers and be like, I'm putting on a show. All you needed was somebody to like let you use the room, which really wasn't that hard to get to happen. No. So to be able to have that freedom to try things out and fail, and like if you try to do that in real life, you have to pay rent. You have to pay someone to turn on the lights and turn it off. You have to pay the performers. In college, you don't have to do any of that. So it was a great way for us to learn.
For it.
And even though, you know, what I learned in the classroom, is that really what I use that much? Not as much. Some I do. But the ability to have the freedom to experiment as a student is something that I think a lot of people overlook. And even though I didn't go to a fancy school, I went to a public university, you know, Illinois State University. You know, U of I, University of Illinois, is bigger in the state of Illinois. Yeah. But we went through that kind of, it was a second-tier school. But that was a place where a lot of artists were able to flourish. In the 70s, the Steppenwolf Theater Company came out of there. So it was like John Malkovich, Laurie Metcalf, Rondi Reed, Gary Cole, who's in so many of those hilarious movies like Pineapple Express, Talladega Nights. They came out of there. And then in the 90s, Sean Hayes came out of there. He was on Jack. Yeah. Mm-hmm. So many great people came out of there. And although, yes, our education in the classroom was awesome, but the school itself really is set up so that the students have the power to make their own stuff.
Which is amazing.
That's kind of where Octavarius came out of. That's kind of where the spirit of all of the things that we've ever made has come out of. And BuzzFeed was a great fit for that, because BuzzFeed allowed us to say, like, well, we have this cool idea, here you go. And they'd be like, oh, here's a couple $100, good luck. And now, like, as we're adults, we're like, oh, man, maybe we should have gotten some more money than a couple $100. Yeah. But to be able to make that stuff and get seen by millions of people was really special.
Like viral as soon as it comes out.
Yeah, I don't consider myself famous, but when I go back to Illinois or if I'm out with my parents, like I'll get recognized. It's weird, but BuzzFeed had that power, and I was only in like just like somewhere around 40 videos for BuzzFeed. But you know, it's enough.
It got you. It got you on my show, my DJ Dani show. So it's a start.
Yeah, and Keith, you look at someone like Keith, who's like one of their biggest stars. You know, Keith hosted the Macy's Thanksgiving Parade this year.
Yes.
And so it's like, oh wow. Well, I guess the internet
what if
has.
You do it this year? I'm sorry, next year.
I really hope we get back there, because I have some great ideas of what we could do at the Macy's Thanksgiving Parade. But I don't know if Verizon is down. We'll see.
Well, it depends what they are. Oh my gosh, Brian.
Yeah, I really hope they're in, because I have some really great ideas that would be just appropriate enough.
Of course. My father actually has a question for you. Can you lower me in my ears? I'm too loud.
The major one. Hey, Brian.
Yeah, hi.
How you doing? I'm Doc G, the owner of the Hamilton Radio. Listen, you've got such an upbeat personality, all right? Do you find that as a downfall as a comedian? Because I see a lot of comedians that are always depressed and, you know.
Oh, yeah. Well, I feel like it allows my voice to be a little bit different. I enjoy comedians that find the positivity, because it's really easy to be like, you know, hey, don't we all like steak? Or like, yeah, it doesn't work, suck. Like, yeah, I mean, to me, that's a lot of hacky crap that a lot of people can do. It's a lot harder to find joy in a situation that's difficult. It's a lot harder to be positive. And also, like, I don't know, that's just always who I am. So, like, if I tried to be miserable all the time, it wouldn't ring true, and people would see through it. I'd say the hardest thing is trying to stay true to myself and learning to like myself and be okay with the things that I'm good at, and also the things that I'm not good at. And one of the things I'm not good at is being a jerk.
You can't be mean.
And I love that. I love that you're such
He's blushing.
A down-to-earth guy. You seem like, you know, that you would be actually, I think, you'd be perfect in a part for Cobra Kai, the Karate Kid sequels.
Because, oh man, isn't that show awesome?
I couldn't stop watching it.
Yes,
but
I'm on season 2.
You've got that personality where, you know, you're like kind of like what I used to be like. I used to smile a lot and do a lot of things, and I'm not saying I don't do that these days, but I don't do it as much. And you're just an upbeat guy, and it's good to see that today in today's world. Even though the stuff is going on around you, you're still smiling. You're still, you know, you got Charlie Chaplin behind you. You got the major comedians around you. And who influenced you? What was your biggest comedian that influenced you the last, say, you know, before you started? What got you into comedy?
Can you lower my ears?
Too loud?
My ears.
Take it off.
Definitely the guys that came through, the guys and girls that came through Second City were a big influence. So Bill Murray, first one, huge. Harold Ramis. Harold Ramis is huge. Love everything Harold Ramis done, and especially, you know, you look at his collaborations with Bill Murray, and the biggest one that they did was Groundhog Day. You know, that collaboration. You could watch Groundhog Day. There are college courses taught on Groundhog Day, and you look at what you know, the existential dilemma of Groundhog Day. Every day is the same, and there are a lot of things where there are a lot of times where people feel that way. I feel that way. I get depressed. I get real sad sometimes, and that's part of it. But it's what do you do with it, and where do you find that joy, and
yeah, I can't see you being upset. It make me upset.
Oh yeah, I mean, nobody likes to see me sad, so I generally retreat. It's bad, but it happens. It's a lot, but if you take those things that make you sad, and you take those things that make you upset, and then you turn them into art, that's something that I like to do, and the stuff that I'm working on now, like the gun control. I'm talking about mass shootings in my stand-up, and these are things that really upset me. Like my father owns an assault rifle. I don't like that. I don't like that they're. But like, how do I talk to him about that? How could I reach someone like my father and get him to be like, oh, maybe I don't really need this, you know? And but also I want to be entertaining. I want to be able to be funny, and also go into the things. I feel like comedy always comes from a place of discomfort. I always look to the things that bother me, what's annoying me, what makes me sad, and then I try to find what's funny about it, or isn't it funny that I feel like this should be fun or nice?
Yeah.
Like, why am I demanding this of this situation? Like, it should be, maybe some things are just supposed to be sad. I don't know. But if I explore that and I explore it with my voice and my perspective, I think that's something that I have to give.
How do you draw the line? How do you draw that line? I mean, you know, with a name like Dani WOHL,
Mike,
people
please laugh.
Well, yeah, you keep laughing. But with a name like WOHL, right? People think that you were probably a brother of somebody from the Hollywood Nights.
Maybe. WOHL.
He's gonna get an ego out.
So WOHL is from the German side of my family.
Right.
And I believe one of them was a Nazi. So yeah. But my dad's side is Jewish, and so like there's always this.
Oh wow, you got that controversy right in your family.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Oh god.
And that's like
intermarried. Oh my god.
And my mom's side of the family is more conservative. My dad's side of the family are very liberal Jews. They're and they're always very female centered Jewish family. Like a lot of the ones who are really into the tradition on my dad's side of the family were the women. And so like I had one side of the family that was like liberal Jews led by women, and then like German carpenters. You know,
I was gonna say your family. It sounds like your get together sounds like that would have been crazy.
You know what? It wasn't as bad as you think. But well, I bet you right now it's a little tougher.
Yes.
But I'm out here in Hollywood where it's a nice safe space for me. So
yeah, for you, lucky you.
Yeah.
Actually, DJ Friction had a question he wanted me to ask you. He wanted to know if you were offered an opportunity to host SNL or appear in a sketch, would you do it?
Yeah, in a heartbeat. Yeah, totally. Yeah,
I
most
can see
definitely.
you on SNL, so.
Yeah, they, Saturday Night Live is one of the last real beacons of live comedy that anyone in any state of the country can see. And you got to think about those folks in the Dakotas, in Montana, you know, in deep in Arkansas or Oklahoma, where there isn't as much live comedy. And this is the subversion for them. And SNL, late night comedy, even just sitcoms, some of my peers might, kind of poo-poo some of that stuff on network television. But, we're reaching out to people that can feel alone in the places that they grow up.
Yeah.
And
I big way, right?
And I grew up in a town surrounded by a lot of folks that were not like me, and they came from money, and they came from a lot of stuff. And my dad was a pipe fitter, so to see people who had more my sensibilities on television and in movies gave me hope, and so yeah, I'm all for that.
You're doing amazing, and you're doing a lot, like empowering our lives and what you're doing and reaching out and making us feel better, especially relating to us in BuzzFeed.
Well, it's also like, the world, we're getting so much information thrown at us. There's a lot of stimuli. And so comedy is now one of the ways that we kind of process it all. I know there are people who will say, well, I get my news from The Daily Show. Well, that's not really true. People might feel they get their news from The Daily Show, but really, they've seen it and read it multiple times in the day prior, and they just don't know how to process it because it's just so much.
At once.
It's exhausting.
But Brian, it's like not just one day, it's like every day.
It's exhausting.
Every minute there's something updated on Facebook. Like right now, like just out of context, something's going on with Roseanne, so they canceled the Roseanne show because what she tweeted. Like that's all over our dash now. And it's weird. So like I've spent time with Roseanne, so I got to hang with Roseanne, and be around those folks, and it's weird to see this all happen. Like today, a couple hundred people just lost their jobs because Roseanne tweeted. Yeah.
So
Most definitely.
it's pretty weird. And Roseanne's never, from Roseanne's perspective, she's like, I was just making a joke, but she doesn't realize that, like, when she makes a joke on Twitter, that goes to millions of people.
Well, her show got canceled, and now everybody's like fighting about it. There's gonna be like.
Well, did you see what she said? It wasn't very good.
I saw what she said. I don't know why she said it.
There's an added responsibility now for people in media that I don't think folks that grew up in Roseanne's generation really understand. And it's tough. We are under a microscope.
Oh my gosh, everything. Yeah.
Because it used to be we just want these people to pretend to be good people. Mm-hmm. Now we want the people that pretend to be good people to also be good people. Mm-hmm. And that's not really the case. It's kind of that's not reality. Mm-hmm. You know, there are a lot of people that aren't so great in this world.
Very eye-opening right now. My show just changed.
You sort of got to watch everything you say because of like you said about people that are out there, but you gotta, like you said, you have to remember that we're not where we used to be. We're in the 2018. It's totally different.
I feel like it's getting worse.
You work on your phone. You can make money on your phone. You don't even have to get up and go to work. I mean, that's the generation we're raising right now. What do you expect from them to do?
Yeah, and it's okay. I accept that responsibility. It can be difficult. I have been shown in unflattering ways before, but I understand what this is. Also, with the responsibility, I've gotten all these great privileges, and I've gotten to be in contact with people all over the United States and the world, and so I've learned about perspectives outside my own. I've learned, like, I normally would be a cis, male, and that would be what I am, and that's all I know. But I'm learning from all these people who are transgender, women, minorities, everyone, says like, hey, this is my perspective, and I realize, if a joke isn't working for them, maybe that's not what I want to do. I don't know. And it's up to me to make that decision.
Well, because that, and then it's also, you have to make sure you're careful on who you're talking to, because now people don't want to be gender neutrality or something.
And at the end of the day...
So it's more confusing and complicated.
Comedy is a violent act. Comedy hurts someone. All jokes are about someone. So someone is not going to find it funny.
Oh, yeah. Sure.
Who do you want to not find it funny? And if you want to make this transgender teenager who's confused about their life feel bad, then good for you. That's your life.
Mm-hmm.
For me, it makes me think twice about my jokes because I realize, I might be hurting someone. And I'd so much rather hurt someone that can take it. And someone that needs to be taken down a peg. And, sometimes that person is me. And, realizing that, I've had it pretty good for a while, but now I'm the dude that looks like all the bad guys in the news. Like, that's the issue.
I feel so bad for you. After you said that, I'm like, oh, crap, you are. You're on. No, you're not.
Well,
don't say it, because people will start thinking that you're the guys on...
Because you'll hear my perspective, right? But in life, I'm still, like, totally fine. I could get a loan ahead of, like, so many people. There's so many things that are, like, totally fine for a white, straight male. So, like, maybe we don't need to feel that bad for him. But it's I don't know. It's fun to talk about, and I think it's something we should talk about.
And it's also something I was going to say in your comedy, because you said you don't want to be, like, discriminate between genders. What about animals? Do you know about that? Like, some people are trying to make their girl dog into a boy and say that it doesn't have a man part. Or, like, this, I'm serious. I'm not even kidding. Your face.
Oh, that's wild. No, I didn't know all about that. I mean, I guess we've been cutting off their balls for years enough already, so, I mean, well, how far you want to go?
I mean, that's what was trending, like, 3 months ago. So it went from that, and then it went to other stuff, and I'm just like, oh my gosh.
That explains why our dog, he's a brindle boxer, was, he was taken care of. And when we got him, he's a rescue dog, and he humps every male that comes in, except me.
Yeah,
I kind of feel jealous. I'm like, well, wait a minute. I'm the one that lives here. Can you at least try to hump me?
Oh, it's so bad. I don't know.
I get humped, but he mostly humps guys, yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe, maybe it started from neutering. I don't
Maybe
know.
he's bi. Maybe he likes boys and guys. I don't know. Yeah.
I think one of the early South Park episodes is about having a gay dog.
Oh, yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Stan's dog is gay.
Yeah.
When he goes to Big Gay Al. This was a great episode. There's some great, now that you're telling me, because I grew up allergic to dogs.
Oh.
I grew up allergic to the state that I grew up in. I was allergic to all the vegetation in Illinois.
How?
In Illinois, I could not breathe. Every day, it felt
my
like
God.
there was someone like just slightly pinching my nose. And it makes you sad. I was a sad kid growing up.
But you're better now, right?
Once
You're
finally,
not allergic to LA.
yeah, once I moved out to LA, I realized I could breathe, and I was like, "What have I been doing my whole life?" Oh my God!
Shocked.
Like here, I have energy. I can work out. Like I never had the energy to work out in Illinois. Here, I'm like, yeah, let's do it. Let's
That's
go.
like basketball or something.
Yeah. It's like, and it's crazy because like the air in LA is actually way worse than the air in Illinois. It's very polluted out here.
Yeah.
But for monster allergy people like me, we can survive. So I'm good out here.
Not me. I think I'm gonna have to get asthma. I'm gonna get asthma soon for how many times I keep sneezing.
And the dogs out here in LA are all those monster dogs that everybody hates, but they're also the dogs that don't have fur, so I can totally breathe around them. Like Chihuahuas, Poodles, Bichon Frise.
Oh, they're
Like
so cute.
Yeah, dogs that can fit in your purse. I can totally breathe around those dogs. So now, like every girl I'm around has like a dog that can fit in her purse.
So now you can handle it.
Yeah,
Without
and it's
sneezing
great.
on your
I
first
have
impression.
a relationship with dogs, and I love dogs. My
Yeah.
girlfriend now has a dog. It was great. We get along so well, but I never knew the love of an animal until I moved to Los Angeles.
So are you a dog person then?
I guess I like everything. I would say I'm a cat person too. I love animals. I love people. I just
Okay, well you're a people person. That's good too.
Yeah, I find that I get energy from people, whereas like other people might get exhausted. Like I could just keep going.
You and me both.
Yeah,
I could keep talking to you, and we only have 2 minutes left.
Oh man, 2 minutes. What should we talk about? Something more important than dogs?
What's more important than animals?
I don't know. I'm ignorant my whole life.
Well, that's awesome for everything that you have going on for you, though, especially what you have in the works with, like, you and Keith, or what you're working with.
Oh yeah. And if anyone wants to follow us, you follow me at Brian WOHL on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, whatever. And Keith is the same. He's like Keith Habs or something. And yeah, we got some real cool stuff coming. It's an exciting time, but it's also a time where we're kind of on the DL, so we're mostly doing things just live in Hollywood right now.
Which is totally fun. Just keep me updated.
Yeah, come see us. But yeah, we have some things coming out nationwide soon. But in the meantime, you could watch our movie, WTF, the World Thumb Wrestling Federation. You can get that on Amazon Prime, iTunes, Walmart, Best Buy. It's a cheap rental. Go and see it. It's a fun, it's like Beer Fest, but it's us.
It's thumb wrestling.
It's thumb wrestling. And us, Deborah Wilson.
Like I said, the
John.
trailer was epic, and it really makes me want to watch it. So, I mean, I'll watch it, but it was a very interesting trailer.
It's an interesting movie. It really is.
Appetizing.
And it's got some great actors in there. Rob Coletti just finished being the Jack Black part for School of Rock. He's like the chubby drunk brother.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he was great. He was the chubby drunk guy in School of Rock, so it works for him.
Well, I'm so excited for everyone, and I hope everybody watches and sees that movie. And is there a website for that movie too? I think there was, right?
probably, I don't know, if you look up WTF, World Thumb Wrestling Federation, that would be the best.
Okay, yeah, don't do WTF.com, because you're probably going to get a porn site or something.
He is thrilled with me that I don't remember our website. I should. I don't know, I just say the funny things.
It's okay. You got away with it for a full hour, so you're fine.
Yeah. Just...
All right, so yeah, just keep me updated with everything that you guys have going on, especially what's in the works and when you're looking to promote again. And then I know you were saying earlier that Keith has a show, right? Or he did some comedy something?
Oh, he did a show last night.
I can't hear you. What'd you say?
Keith did a show last night with his band.
No, I think you were saying, like, did he do an album, a comedy album?
Oh, he has an album. Yes. Oh, he has a record. It's not out yet, though. But you can look up his band Lou Burger, and they're amazing. It's
I was going to say, because I love helping music as well. So.
Oh, he's amazing. Their music is so good. Yeah. You can look him up. They have a couple of videos through BuzzFeed. You can watch, like, it's I think the video under BuzzFeed's title is, like, If Men Were Disney Princesses or something like that. And him and Alex, I'm in the video, so you see that. We have a Christmas song. A couple of things.
What makes me really laugh is after you said that, my father said great. Like, with the song.
Yeah. Because it's all about, you know, sometimes you're a guy and you're like, man, I wish I were a Disney princess so I could have a homeless Arabian.
Which Disney princess were you? Or you're not going to say? Brian?
What?
Oh, which Disney princess were you?
Which Disney? You know what? I wasn't a princess. I was dressed like John McClane from Die Hard. Because I thought it would be funny if there was a man like him that wanted to be a princess. You know?
I gotta watch this video now.
You know, this is the thing. We're trying to be subversive here. We're taking down traditional views of what's masculine and what's not. I'm a tough guy, but sometimes a tough guy needs to feel like a princess. You know?
I can't take it seriously.
Have you ever taken a bath with a bath bomb?
Yes.
I did that for the first time like a month ago. That was really cool.
I was like, awesome? Wow. Did you use Lush or what kind? Just a regular bath bomb?
I did one that was marijuana infused that was given to me by a brand that gives things to comedians. And it's called Kush Queen. Oh my God. My bones turned into honey. It was amazing. I was just
I bet you were gone that night.
Oh no, it was fine. It's not. It was the non-psychoactive marijuana, the CBD.
Okay. Oh, CBD is good for you. Okay, good.
Oh yeah, I mean it depends on what you use it for, but it can all be good for you if you use it right. But yeah, the CBD. Oh man, it just turned my bones into honey. It was so amazing. I was like for 3 hours, my body was just honey.
Just honey.
Yeah, you have a Sunday and you take a nice warm bath and yeah, but I imagine the regular bath bombs are also amazing. But the weed, if you're in LA or Colorado or wherever it's legal, I'd say go for it. Vegas is legal too? Yeah. Oh, yeah.
I went in March for my 21st birthday.
Oh, you got it. Yeah, the bath bomb is the way to go. Because then you can still do things and you're functioning, but your body feels like honey. And then you're like, oh, I could just not go anywhere today.
You don't even want to drink.
Yeah. Well,
you can.
Nice cool beverage if it's a hot day. I don't know. It's
true. Yeah.
Yeah, it's all the things that just relax. I wouldn't say it's a substitute for drinking, but it's a way to take your relaxation to another level. You sit with your book in your bath. Why not?
Yeah. All right. Well, I had a blast talking to you. I had an amazing time having you on my show. You were so funny. And I really enjoyed talking to you about everything and what's going on, and your new stuff that we're going to promote and help with any way we can. I'm definitely going to look up, you said Keith's band was Lou Burger?
Lou Burger, yeah.
He's
got links to it on his Instagram or something. You'll figure it out.
Okay. No, I was just wondering, because
yeah,
they're great. Maybe we can play it here on the radio, because we love comedy, and He can get airplay. That'd be very shocking.
Probably be on the air. Some of it probably not.
Of course.
You know, his words.
Actually, just before you go, can we get a radio promo for you?
Sure.
A station ID. So you're gonna say your name, where you are from, and then you're gonna say you're listening to the DJ Dani Show.
Sure. Just say like where, like that I'm in Hollywood, or that I'm from.
No, like what you're from. So like you could say you're like from BuzzFeed, or you know, like what you want to promote in that station ID. I'm from Hollywood.
Yeah, I didn't know. Like, I'm.
And then you're gonna do a second one, and you're gonna say you're listening to Hamilton Radio.
Sure.
Okay. Whenever you are ready.
Hi, I'm Brian Wohl from BuzzFeed, and you're listening to Hamilton Radio.
Next.
Did I do it? Did I do it right?
You did, but you gotta do one for DJ Dani Show.
Oh, so I say, hi, I'm Brian Wohl from BuzzFeed, and you're listening to DJ Dani Show on Hamilton Radio.
Perfect.
Oh, fabulous. All right, I'll do it. I'll do it right now.
Okay.
Hi, I'm Brian Wohl from BuzzFeed, and you're listening to the DJ Dani Show on Hamilton Radio.
Woo! Woo! Thank you so much.
Oh, thanks.
I had a blast having you, and I can't wait for your upcoming stuff.
Well, thank you very much.
You're very welcome. Have a great night.
You too.
All right,
Bye.
bye.